Before I begin Kaiju number 8 chapter 2, if we can get this video to 100 likes, that would be absolutely amazing. Because this chapter is action-packed and very interesting. Now let's begin. The start of this chapter begins with a flashback of a conversation with Amunxroyal and Habino as children, thinking about the idea of fighting kaijus that are taller than skyscrapers in the city. For a second, I thought this was Habino memories that we are looking at because in this last chapter, Habino kept reminiscing about their conversation as children in chapter 1. But these memories belong to Amunxroyal. This is great because we are starting to introspect in other characters to understand their relationship from another person's point of view. If you haven't seen the amazing chapter 1 of this story, or if you don't know what kaiju means, go check out my first video in the description below. It's dope. Now we see Amunxroyal in the bathtub calling Habino a liar because he never fulfilled his promise to fight kaijus alongside of her as partners. This is why she dislikes him now. However, she received a phone call to exterminate another kaiju that appeared in the city. Hopefully she doesn't have to exterminate Habino. That would be crazy. Meanwhile, we see Habino in his hybrid kaiju form saying what the hell is going on, talking to Ichikawa in the hospital room. Then an old man walked by the door and was startled at the skull-like monster standing in front of him. Habino grabbed the wall to kneel down and check the old man because he passed out, but the hospital wall cracked from the enormous strength that Habino has gained. He knew that it would be troublesome to stay at the hospital and the civilians will panic in fear. So he rips off the hospital wall and jumps out the room with Ichikawa following him. I really do think this is really dope to see how the characters is adapting to his new transformation. But it wasn't too long that the news had already reported the kaiju to the entire city that night. While Ichikawa was having a conversation with Habino while running, he looked behind him and Habino has taken a weird appearance because he still is getting used to his body of a kaiju. But something interesting happens. Something that no one can see is about to happen next. Habino stopped in the street and struck an ominous pose. Ichikawa looked completely confused, asking himself what in the world is he doing? And Habino said the famous line we all didn't expect. He said he gotta take a leak. Bro, I know this happened to y'all when y'all was on a road and you forgot to go to the bathroom and you told the driver to stop at the nearest gas station because you had to take a leak.
Say no, this pig is no, I got to go pay.
Don't act like y'all haven't. So Habino slowly starts to have a mental breakdown, thinking that he will never join the defense force because he has become the monster the military hunts. However, Habino's spidey sense start tingling like Spider-Man when something bad is getting ready to happen.
Peter? What's wrong?
I don't know.
An enormous kaiju awakens from the ground, causing chaos in the city. A woman was stuck under the rubble of the building and needs help. Her child sees the ravenous kaiju trying to devour her mother, and she placed her arms around her body to protect her, then begs someone to help. And you already know our boy Habino came out of nowhere like the Viper Randy Orton and saved the woman and child.
Look at this. This suit right here. Somebody's got this lock. This is getting dangerous. Superplex. Take another look at this Superplex. Oh my gosh.
Habino is so shocked at the amount of strength that is surging through his body, but the monster is so resilient that he rose back up from the debris to attack everyone once again. But this only lasted for 2 seconds because Habino conjured up all the strength in his body to punch the kaiju and eviscerated the monster in the blink of an eye. The force of the punch shook the entire area by rocking the cars back and breaking the windows of the buildings around the perimeter. And we have this nice color panel emphasizing this badass moment that Habino is having right now, basking in the ambience. Habino looked at the mother and child and said, "Let's finally get both of you to the hospital," giving them reassurance because of the crazy moment that just took place. The child returned the favor and said, "Thank you." This was a fantastic moment because it reminded him of Amunxroyal when they were children In a flashback when they were children, there was a moment when she told Habino, "Thank you." He then daydreams about standing by Ashiro's side to fight together, and the chapter comes to an end.